What's up, everybody? Little bit different format today. We're doing a little pre-recording here. Obviously, Woods Entry, Mr. Satchmo, Carl over here. We have some guests. We're actually in person for the first time. You have to see us interact together in the same room. You know, we always talk about how we attend expos, and either one of us are able to find each other. We'll be at the same expo within 20 minutes of each other and never see each other. Quite hilarious, actually. But yeah, just a little bit of an introduction. We got you guys coming in with us today, doing a recording of a interview with the people who are going to be hosting the Richmond, Indiana Reptile Expo that we have coming up next weekend. We're looking forward to it. They do a lot of other expos in other areas, and they also run their own shop. Yes, from what I heard. So it's great to have you guys. So Carl, anything?
Well, nothing really new. I'll just go ahead and get out of the way and let you guys introduce yourself. Just give you a little soapbox and just tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, and we'll get started.
Well, my name is Richard. My wife here is Julie. The store we have is Madhouse Serpents Supplies in Fairborn, Ohio. We've had the store for about 4 years now, and we've been running the expo up in Findlay for about 7 or 8 years now. Just last year, I bought my business partner out, so it's just been me, and we've made wholesale changes. We've done a lot of advertising. We've got our attendance up, way up over what it used to be. Got a lot of new vendors, a lot of diversity in it, and that's mainly what we strive for, is to have a lot of diversity. We don't want an expo that just has toys and ball pythons and crested geckos, like a lot of them have. We want a lot of different types of animals there, so everybody can get a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Versatility is always key. I found the best expos I go to have that variety, so to speak. So can you tell us a little bit of what got you guys started with the reptiles in general?
Oh, this is a great story. She wanted a cat. I don't like cats. And she didn't like snakes. So when she said one day about 20 years ago, she goes, "I want a cat." I'm like, "Heck no." I said, "You can get a cat if I can get a snake," thinking, I'm a smart guy. I win this argument. And again, I was proven wrong once again, just like always. So I got my snake before she got her cat, and one snake ended up into two snakes ended up to 700. And that's usually how it works, right?
What's the cat count up to?
0.
We topped that at 3. 3 was good. 3 was it. We had quite a few.
Current cat count is 0. So in a roundabout way, I still won.
There you go.
It just took a few years.
Yeah. So you said 700 snakes. Any other reptiles?
Oh, we have a whole pet store.
Whole pet store. Okay.
We don't do warm and fuzzy. If it's warm and fuzzy, something's going to eat it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are strictly reptiles, tortoises. We don't do any water stuff.
Okay.
Every once in a while, we'll get some axolotls in, but that's about the extent of it. We have crested geckos, gargoyles, lychees. Oh gosh, so many different kinds of snakes.
Bearded dragons and gosh, just everything. I have water dragon babies in the incubator right now. I have like 72 dragon. I've got 4 or 5 hatching right now, actually. Okay. I have some cool zeros and things coming out.
Nice.
And then we have lots and lots of crested gecko eggs. And of course, that's just always, right?
Right, yeah.
And then, I've got some cool stuff at the store, though, that we like to showcase. I've got water dragons, and I've got a self-in, and we have some uromastics and different things that are cool, kind of hard to find stuff, so it's kind of neat. But we just love the animals. That's part of it. And that's part of why the expo is so cool, is because we like to have everything you need there at the expo to set up your tanks and to set up your enclosures. We want you to find whatever you want. So if you're going to set up for an axolotl, we hope to have everything for the axolotl. If you want a bearded dragon, we want to have the correct caging requirements, the lighting, the backgrounds, the under tank heaters, the whatever else you need for everything, we want to have that. So we want to make our expo that. And we're trying really hard to get the right vendors in, to get the right stuff. So if you say, I have ball pythons, but I only want my ball pythons in this size of tank, then let's have that conversation and let's get a vendor in there that's correct for that kind of setup, how you want your ball pythons set up whenever you sell them, so you can get your person to actually have that correct for the animals you've raised. So we think that.
So with that being said, it kind of flips to the next question. So you don't just target, vendors who bring animals. You're targeting vendors who maybe bring supplies only a lot of times, or
Dry goods.
And
dry
we're-
goods and,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
feeders and,
Yeah.
and everything of that. So do you guys distinguish? Are you more so exclusive to more of the reptiles? Or are you all exotics? You
We-
do the warm and fuzzy stuff too.
We try not to do a lot of the warm and fuzzy stuff. We really like to focus on just the reptile side of it.
As you guys know, when you get into the warm and fuzzy stuff, you get into USDA licensing
Yeah.
and permits
Mhm.
and all that stuff. And that's something a lot of people don't do. But if they were to come in, a lot of
have
people
to.
would be in trouble.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we kind of put the nay on that unless they have the USDA license. Like,
Gotcha.
we have one hedgehog vendor that is USDA licensed.
Okay.
We have a fox vendor who is USDA licensed.
Okay.
And they have shown us these licenses.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're okay with that.
Right.
But we don't want somebody that breeds the hedgehogs that
They don't
they're
have
not
them right.
licensed, they don't have everything they need, they're not doing it correctly. And the hedgehogs, when they're bred like that, they only live 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Yeah.
We want ones that live a
7.
nice long life.
Yeah.
Like a hedgehog is supposed to live.
Yeah, I've noticed that you run into a lot of troubles with the like aquatic turtles
Mhm.
and things like that. And it varies so much between state law, different states that you're at. I know currently in Indiana, which the new show will be, it's a 4-inch rule. If they're under 4 inches, you're not supposed to sell them.
The 4-inch rule is actually a federal rule.
Is it
Federal.
federal?
It's a federal rule because people would go out and take all the little babies out of the wild.
Hmm.
And so they made it a 4-inch rule. And the 4-inch rule really doesn't even just go to aquatic turtles. It's supposed to encompass all turtles and tortoises.
Right.
Whether it's a 3-toed box tortoise or a sulcata or a redfoot or a Herman's or any of them.
Right.
They all should have a 4-foot shell,
4-inch.
4-inch shell.
4 foot would be a little big.
That'd be a
So-
very large.
It'd be a
very
very
large
That'd
story.
that'd be kind of hard to carry around.
And that's part of the thing.
We
that
have a
do.
cart.
So that's one of the things. So you set up your table, and then we, as the promoters, we kind of go through and we go, hey, like that looks great. But if something doesn't look great, then we also will stop and go, hey, wait a minute, what's going on with this? I mean,
Mhm.
and we don't have a problem if we see something regurg or we see mites or we see anything. We absolutely will ask you to take that off the table, and we'll ask you to keep it off the table. We also don't allow people to bring in their animals from home, because we have all these vendors that have paid so much money to get in and done such work with these
Yeah, well,
animals.
biosecurity is
They're
a big
amazing.
thing.
Yeah, and then people try to bring in this stuff, and you don't know what they've got.
Mhm.
So I've got thousands of animals in this venue, and one person have Coxacilla, or they have
The
nidovirus, or they have something stupid, and they bring it in and kill everybody's stuff. It's not okay. So to us, that's super important too. The cleanliness of our vendors and their animals, and we can see that they're nice and healthy. And we have kind of talked to all of them, and we know the people that are in there. So we're a little picky
Mhm.
about who we let in, which I actually think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And then in reverse, then we don't let the people actually bring in their stuff either, because we don't want to give you guys
Yeah,
things
yeah.
from outside.
I mean, especially
So-
things like mites can travel so easily. Even say person
Sure.
X has mites at home and they
Mhm.
come to the show, they're going to be bringing mites with them,
Absolutely.
and probably not even knowing it.
I
And
mean-
that kind of thing happens.
As far as things like that go, mites are one of the easiest things.
Mhm.
It's a pain in the ass, but it's an easy thing to fix if you have a couple snakes. If you have a couple hundred snakes, obviously it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But it's one of the ones that is here. It's easy to fix, and I wouldn't say it was acceptable, but if you go to some shows, it's expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There are a few shows that I know of personally in the state of Indiana that I just don't go to because mites and much more serious things are expected there. And I think people knowing that you put that kind of forethought is going to make people more apt to come to your show because they understand that, and that's what they're looking for anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to bring that stuff home with me either.
Right.
I mean, that's a pain. Like you said, I've got 300 snakes, a bunch of different lizards and things. If you give me something bad, that shuts me down.
If I
can't
go to
do that.
expo and when I get home, I feel like I got a strip in the garage. I don't want to go to that expo.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we feel good about the vendors we have. We feel good about our show. We like to look around and see everybody go, wow, it looks awesome. And this is just amazing at all the people we have and all the cool stuff. And with that, we're getting hundreds of people through the door because they can see what we're doing and they can see we're advertising and we're having really good vendors. We have some really absolutely amazing vendors that we bring in.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's super important to us because we have been to those really
Always double
shows.
check our vendors.
Yeah.
I had one vendor, and Jesse, I'm gonna call you out on this one. The first email I got from him said, "Joe Mama." He said, "Do you have any tables?" I was like, "Well, I don't know, Joe Mama. Who are you?" So I need to be able to research, see what kind of person you are before I'm going to say, "Yeah, I'll let you in."
And we really do go online and we check you out and we check out. So if you've got a bad rep, you need to either say, hey, look, I screwed up and this person really dug me in and they've really did some bad stuff to me and I don't deserve it. Explain that to us. But if it's real, then know that we're probably not going to put you in the venue because we just don't want to expose our people to that. And that's totally fair.
How do you feel about the very new breeders?
Well, I still think very new breeders still have that clientele, and you still can see what they've done. You guys have animals.
Now, are you
posted
talking?
online
Are you
where can
talking
see it.
breeders or flippers?
Oh, that's
breeders?
true. It's a different
Nobody
question.
nobody around our
Yeah.
nobody likes flippers.
Yeah.
don't do
We
flippers.
run in some.
So
pretty
there
tight
are some
circles.
people that do flip animals, and that's okay, as long as you keep it long enough to ensure its health and that it's eating.
Yeah, well, those aren't the flippers, or what I think.
As a true flipper.
That to me is person that invests in animals and tends to sell them. You know.
I mean, if we all think about it, I mean, technically we could all be flippers.
Yeah, but a flipper by definition,
But
or
there's not
definition that we
wild
use
caught.
is
It's not
not
wild caught. It's not nasty.
like majority of the snakes, other than the ones that I've hatched in my home, I've had for 2 years or
Correct.
more. You
Right.
know what I mean? At that point, you're not a flipper. You're, you know, you are a keeper.
Correct.
You know what's in,
So-
what's out on those types of.
Yeah, and you've
But
been
also-
responsible for the well-being of that animal and the care
For longer than 3 days.
and the health. Yes.
Yeah.
But also part of that is knowledge too. So say you have that animal that you got in 3 weeks ago and it's perfectly healthy. It came from you. You know where it came from. Life is good. I know about this animal. But if I'm a new person and I've never had a ball python or whatever, and you got this for $50 on your table and the guy down here has it for $300, I would hope that you would look at me and go, do you know how to take care of that animal? Because if you don't, this animal hasn't been in my care this long. Let's talk about how to set it up and how to do it, which I would hope you do anyway with your customers, but more so on the ones that just came into your possession because they need a little more care and knowledge and forethought on looking at this animal and going, is it shedding right? Is it pooping right? Did it even eat in your care? Did it not? I mean, maybe it did in yours, and he just doesn't know. I just hope you have the forethought to talk to that customer. And that's what we're looking for too, is the vendors that we can sit and have this conversation. And you guys go, yeah, absolutely. We take good care of our animals and we want to educate the people that are buying from us.
Yeah, well,
Which is
that's the
important.
very reason we started doing this.
Yeah.
Is to one, push education out there.
Mhm.
For two, because I don't know everything. John doesn't know everything. We want to continually
I
learn.
learn so much every
Yes.
day. It's
And that's
crazy.
exactly how you learn, is you talk to people who've been in the hobby and or even business side of it, and who have run into the bad things and figured a way through it and figure out how to fix it or mediate the problem. And that's exactly what I set out to do.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned over the years is my reflexes are not as good as they used to be.
Yeah.
Everything starts to slow down
Yeah.
after a while.
The snakes do not slow down, but
Yeah.
my reflexes do.
Yeah, I had a surprise the other day. One came out and got me right in the palm of the hand.
Oof, that's not fun.
That's like didn't bite all the way around. It just nailed me in the palm of the hand, and I'm like, how do you even get a hold of that? You know what I mean? So
That's pretty good.
I hate it when you
Flat
get
wide
the
mouth.
the parts of your
Yeah.
skin in between.
yeah, or the nail bed
Oh.
right there at the cuticle.
Oh, yeah.
That
Looks
causes,
like a stuck hog. Yeah,
that causes
yeah.
some bleeding for sure, no
Mhm.
doubt. So what made you guys land on location as far as Richmond? What drew you to the area more
So
than anything?
back in the day, Dennis and Ken had a show there.
Okay.
They had one I believe the first one was at the Holiday Inn, and then they did a couple more at the Armory, and they had a good turnout.
Mhm.
And then it just quit for some reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say it vanished. It
At
vanished
that
before
point
my
in time, we weren't running an expo. We were just doing shows. And we didn't have the pet store then. We were just breeding corns and balls and stuff like that.
Mhm.
House snakes.
Yeah.
Just loving life. And when I got into the expo with my old business partner, I started looking at places that were underserved. Ohio has so many reptiles expos, it's hard to find somewhere that isn't within an hour of an expo.
Right.
And that's kind of my litmus test is how close is the next expo?
Mhm.
And the other one is what's the quality of said expo?
Mm.
Yeah.
So with Richmond, it's not in Ohio,
Right.
but it's close enough that my Ohio people can make it there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're almost halfway in between Indianapolis and Dayton.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you get them from both sides.
North and south. And
Yeah.
Right.
All of
It's
our
kinda-
Dayton people are really excited about
Right.
it. So.
we're kind of like right there at the crossroads, in between two big major cities. You got Cincinnati down south, Dayton, Indy, everything kind of just culminates right there on the border. It just seems like the perfect location. And I know I've been talking about it for quite a while, probably since we started doing our live streams. I was like, man, we need to do somebody needs to do an expo in Richmond. Somebody needs to do an expo in Richmond.
Yeah.
So when he flipped
You're
me,
welcome.
he flipped me the ad, I said, you're lying. You're lying. No way. No way. There's one coming already. I was like, and it's the perfect location. I said, that building's plenty big enough. It's going to work out perfectly. I was like, we have got to interview these people. I was like,
The building is, I believe it's like 14,000 square feet.
Gotcha.
The building I have in Finley that we do is 10,000 square feet. I can comfortably put 90 tables in 10,000 square feet. This one being extra, I'm sure I can do a lot, but I don't want to overload it with all the same stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I've got 5 people that vend ball pythons and another guy says, hey, I'd like a couple tables, I'm going to ask him, what do you sell? And when he says, well, I got ball pythons, I said, well, you can come, but there's already 5 other vendors.
Mm-hmm.
That way they're not at the expectation that they're going to sell stuff.
Right.
Crested gecko, same thing. Dry goods. There's a couple of things that we do have an exclusive on. We have an exclusive on bugs, dry goods, and rodents.
Mhm.
Because those are the 3 things that you really have to have at a show.
Yeah.
Especially the feeder bugs and the rodents. The dry goods, I mean, yes and no. It's going to be great for whoever has them. The feeder bugs, I want to make sure that I have somebody there all the time. Because if I give somebody exclusive, I expect them to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's just everybody brings whatever, you can't always count that you're going to have enough crickets to support everybody or superworms or whatever it is.
Or if I
And
have,
the rodent thing's a big deal too, because if something happens and the rodents get loose, I can't bring 20 people. I have one guy that I know that takes good care of whatever, gives you the right boxes and everything's great. And it's not somebody giving them one of the little
the
takeout
little thing you get
container
from
right,
PetSmart
that they
can
take
go
you
through
through,
in 10 seconds.
and you got it in your car for the rest of your life, and there's a problem, right? So we know that those people have the right things to give you to take it home. Also with the dry good things, I think it's super important we don't have a lot of used dry good things sitting there. And I know that that sounds awesome, but it goes right back to that cleanliness thing.
Yes.
You don't know what died or didn't die in that tank. If you find it on the side of the road, I always tell people don't pick it up. You don't know what that was. You don't know.
Mhm.
It could have been yellow fungus or coccidiosis, or you could have norovirus or anything in there. And it's in the grout. It's in the plastic. It's in there. You can't get rid of that. The glass is porous. Sorry, this is my soapbox. I apologize.
You're fine.
I mean, it's
We
a big
appreciate
deal
that.
because they take it home and then they throw their snake in this tank that they bleached. And you go, well, I mean, did you really bleach it? I mean, kind of. Did you wipe it down or did you bleach it? What did you do to this thing? The animal dies and they come back to us and go, hey, my snake died. And you go, well, and you can't say,
I told you
you
not
know,
to pick up that cage.
right, you can't say that. You go, I don't know what happened. You know.
Unlike a lot of pet stores, we offer a 30-day guarantee on our animals.
But that's not the expo. I mean,
At
the
the
expo is,
expo, obviously, it's vendor specific.
right.
But any vendor that sells their animals should be able to say, you know what, I'll give you 30 days.
If you can show me your cage and
I
setup and
can't
everything.
say that that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But at our store, that's what we do because we put our name on
Right,
Hmm.
right. And now that's not, just for anybody new that might be watching, a 30-day health guarantee is not a 30-day fit guarantee
Right.
on your
right.
animal.
That's
Just
true.
because you don't like it doesn't mean
Take it back.
we'll take it back.
it.
Yeah.
We don't have my girlfriend's pissed off and I have to return it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
And that costs extra.
That could be an insurance policy. So
There
we
you
should
go.
develop that.
Yeah, right. Not up to clause.
Mom said I can't keep it. Right?
Right,
I
yeah.
know with like internet sales, it's a little different per se, because you are not looking this person in the eye.
Right.
And there is absolutely zero way for you to verify that that animal's being taken care of, or what environment is it going to.
Mhm.
Is it going to a house full of nido
Mhm.
or
And you don't know. And you don't
anything
know what
else? Yeah, yeah.
And
And
it's the same thing with our store animals too. But whenever I get a bad feeling about somebody, I don't care how much money they offer me, I'm not going to sell them an animal.
right, and that's the beautiful part about being on this side of it, is you can kind of fill that out.
Yeah.
And
I
there's
don't
been
care, I don't
people
care how
I've
much I
like,
need the money. I never need the money that bad.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think I speak for everybody in the room at bare minimum that it's the love for the animals and the interest in the animals that got us into this. And to me, it's not about the money. I've given away more snakes than I've sold.
If you come to my store, you guys would really laugh. Everybody tells me that nothing's for sale, and that's kind of true. Somebody said it's
Mhm.
Julie's collection, and I sell some stuff. It's kind of my store, which is true, and it really is. If
That's
you see my really cool stuff, and I have some beautiful things that are on display for you to
Yeah.
see. And I do sell some things on the side,
Mhm.
but it's mainly look at what I've got, and this is how we set it up, and this is what we do. And I will explain to you why I have 17 different places for heat on certain animals, and why I've got water going into here, why I've got fountains happening, and I've got different things going on. But that knowledge also goes back to the expos too. I mean, I'm hoping that all of my vendors are doing the same.
Right.
If you say, I would love this animal, but I really don't know what to do with it, I hope you take the time to sit and talk to them and say, hey, let's do this. And then send me pictures. I don't know if everybody knows me. I always say, hey, send me pictures of your cool tank. I'd love to see how you have it set
I want
up.
proof. I want
Right?
proof. Give me proof.
And that's not what I'm saying, but I am.
Yeah,
I
in a sense, you're
am.
like, hey,
Send me some pictures. I'd love to see it. I want to see what you
check it
did.
out. But it's more, I just want to know.
That you're taking good care of my animal
Exactly.
that I raised from a baby,
Exactly.
and I want to
Yeah.
know it's good and healthy.
Yeah.
And these animals really are mine. Like somebody brings in a dragon, I'm like, oh yeah, that's from Fred and that's from whoever, and I know who's whatever that is
Right.
because I know my animals, and I'm sure you guys kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So
it's
that
important.
actually, I was about ready to tell you a story. I just sold a snake not that long ago to a fella down in Texas, and he builds custom enclosures. So I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I still talk to him quite a bit. Actually, we message back and forth. He sends me pictures. We're in a couple, I think, Facebook groups together. So the chat stays busy. He posts his new creations.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so I know that snake right there went to a place. It's going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You
He's
know?
going to be in a good spot and
Yes.
well taken care of, and
Yes.
that's what matters.
And the success stories, I call those the success stories.
It is.
Those are what make it for me.
Yeah.
You know,
You know, I have living proof of one of my success stories.
Yeah.
yeah,
He actually bought a snake from me. So when you said, "Oh yeah, he got the snake from me,"
It does happen. Yes.
we
We
laid
have-
it out. That's how we actually got to
We have
introduce to
a-
each other.
We have a lady that brought her autistic child in,
Mhm.
and she's kind of nonverbal.
Mhm.
She wears gloves because there's a lot of feels that she doesn't like. But she wanted a snake. So we got her a ball python. We got her a little pouch. His name is Cheese. And it went to prom with her. It went to graduation with her.
It's been
It
to a
goes to
lot of
school
Ohio
with
State
her.
games.
It goes everywhere
It
with her in
does.
that pouch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, and that's cool
That's
because
one of those things that autistic people, they're not, how do I put this? Autistic is pretty cool in its own way because they hyper focus on one thing.
Mhm.
And so when you're hyper focused on one thing, everything else just kind of, and it doesn't matter. And that's where autism really strikes people as weird.
Mhm.
But that's just the way their brain works, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Right. And I've actually done some reading and heard some buzz online about how like different reptiles are now being used for,
There is a lot of reptile
therapy.
therapy.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
and I think
absolutely.
that's so cool. And one of the things they said is like the higher spectrum autism like how they have a lot of sensory issue, and a lot of times getting a hold of a reptile like a ball python, for instance, doesn't trigger that, so they can free handle it without the gloves, and they don't have those issues. Whereas
Mhm.
a cat or something like that, maybe they couldn't touch because of the fur.
Well, they had
So-
bought her a bearded dragon, and she didn't care for the way that it felt, which I mean
Right.
that makes sense to
Yeah.
me, absolutely.
Yeah,
And then so they came in and they were just talking, and she really liked the snakes, and so we worked with her a little bit on the snakes, and it's just it's a beautiful ball python. It goes
Mhm.
everywhere. It's amazing. She's great with it, you know. But we have lots of stories like that. I have the guy that was feeding his ball python little bitty mice forever, and he couldn't figure out why it wasn't growing and it wasn't doing all that stuff. And so we talked him into trying a pup, right, and get him on rats. And so it's been a couple years now. This snake is gorgeous. It's huge. It's amazing. But it took a good probably 7 years to get it that size because he was feeding it mice for its whole life because they didn't understand that balls need that
Mhm.
heavier rat density. They need that more fat to grow. And
Yeah.
they were just keeping on
yeah,
mice. So
absolutely.
we love those stories where they come in and they're like, remember my snake was this big and now it is 4 foot, 5 foot and healthy and eating, and
That's amazing.
we can get it out and play with it and
Yeah,
all that. So
I kind of started early on with rescue and
Mhm.
surrender
mhm.
animals, and one of the things that I took in was a 205 gram, I think it was, a blue-eyed leucistic
Mhm.
ball python, and I mean, just a beautiful, well-mannered snake, but it was itty bitty, you know.
Right.
And this thing at this point, just backtracking, figuring how old it would be, ish. We're talking 2.5 to 3 year old ball python
That's this big.
that's
That
the
is
size
huge.
of some of mine that have been out of the egg for 4 months. You know, I mean,
yeah, I feed them and they go straight to rats if possible at all because that makes them grow. And then all these people put them on mice, and you just sit there going, I don't know what you're thinking, but let's talk. Let's
Yeah.
have this conversation
A
of
lot of times it seems to be the availability for feeders. You know, and no fault of the big box stores, they have their flaws in every sense, but that's what's available to a lot of people. So when
Well-
you think like that, they don't find mom and pop shops, privately
Sure.
owned pet stores and things like that. And I know for a fact Richmond doesn't have one. They have a very stereotypical box store.
Sounds like it's time to expand.
yeah.
invite you guys. It's an hour. It's an hour. Come over.
Honestly, I'm not knocking that ideal. It's a great ideal. I've had the ideal myself of thinking like, hey, we need another hub for feeders of
Yeah.
some sort so that we can get the reptile people, the
Well,
aquatic people,
the
because
expo.
they're so limited. But
Yeah.
now that we have the expo available to us, it's going to give them that opportunity, and it's a monthly basis, correct?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean, if we look at it from
There's
that perspective,
there's a few months that we skipped this year,
Right.
But we have a full slate already scheduled in 2027.
perfect. So
Yep.
so looking at it from that perspective, now everybody in a good vicinity has an opportunity to come in and say, hey, I need a month's worth of food.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have the money here. Here we go. Let me just go ahead and I'm going to buy in advance.
Yep.
Right. Because
Yeah.
everybody-
Speaking on the
We'll
schedule,
buy some wings, and hopefully by the time the next show runs around,
There'll be smalls and mediums.
so
right?
speaking about the schedule, can you tell everybody listening where to go to look at the schedule? And
I need to rewrite it
Mhm.
because it's in my jumblish,
Mm.
and I'm the only one that really understands it. But it will be on our Facebook page shortly.
And we'll tag you guys.
Okay.
We'll show
Awesome.
on your,
Absolutely.
yeah. we'll
So
tag you guys.
is that
I've got flyers made up for the Richmond show at my shop that has all the dates on it for this year.
okay? So is that the only social media that you're on is Facebook, or do you have Instagram?
We have TikTok, Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have TikTok. You've been on TikTok for a couple years now. TikTok,
All
Facebook,
right.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's all tagged through my stuff. So yeah, so we should be throwing it all on there.
Absolutely.
So I don't think we're on YouTube yet, but maybe with you
Yes,
guys we can do
absolutely.
that. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. So yeah.
We definitely appreciate everything that you guys are offering an opportunity to the community, because it is something that gives an outlook to those people who aren't so caught up in like the city life.
Mhm.
Richmond's an amazing community overall, but it's so like such a niche group of like activities that typically
Mhm.
tend to take place, right?
Mhm.
So you get your county fairs, you get your your plays and your
They got a couple golf courses.
a couple golf courses. You
And
know,
then the kids stuff and soccer
a
field.
couple of
Yeah.
kid things, and you know,
Absolutely.
they do an ice festival and things like that. But it all seems to be just targeted at like a certain demographic of people.
Mhm.
This is going to encompass a different demographic, which is
Absolutely.
very much appreciated.
Yeah.
You know,
And that being said, we are not opposed to sponsoring different activities.
Mhm.
So yeah. So
like
we would love to put our name
uh,
out there and get some more
we
recognition.
do wrestling and
all of
respect in Lima, which is war wrestling. And you can see right here. They had their anniversary event last night. We sponsor them, and it gets our name out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the banner, it's on their stuff. They do a great job. It was freaking hilarious.
We had a great time.
We had a
but
great time last
yeah,
night. So, but yeah, we are not opposed to sponsoring stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know that we have some local organizations for, you know, your rec league, volleyball, baseball, soccer, things of that nature. So it'd be good to see. I know I would be just over the moon if I see like, hey, I know those people. They're sponsoring the team. That's awesome. Yep. And I'm like, those are reptile people, and I know they're reptile people. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I finally broke that fourth
That's-
wall kind of, right?
That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing is you were saying earlier about the younger reptile people.
Mhm.
If we don't have younger reptile people, we don't have any more reptile people.
Right. The
Because
new ones, the
none
new
of us-
vendors,
none
the
of
new
us last
breeders,
forever.
all of that. Yeah, and
So
you guys
we
are
got-
creating cool stuff. I mean, but don't take this wrong, but we've been doing this like 22 years. So we know all the old people, we know some of the new people, but all of these new ideas and the new ways to do things is interesting. I think the display cages that have the lights already on them, the heat already in there, we didn't have that. We had to bring heat tape. And we put desk lamps up, and we hooked stuff
Yeah.
up with wire and all
Way
kinds of
back when
crazy stuff.
reptile
Right?
carpet and heat
Yeah.
box was a thing.
Yeah, heat rocks. I don't even think those even made
They got
anymore.
next level designs that
Yeah.
has the herbstats built into it. You can plug it into the
Yeah,
car.
that's really cool. Somebody said, quit doing that stuff those old people are doing. Let's do something different, right?
Yeah.
And that's cool. So all these innovative ideas are coming up. It's amazing what even my kid comes up with. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Because I'm so used to doing things my way. So these conversations with the new breeders and new vendors and the things that they're doing and I mean, I personally don't love the burn balls and those kind of different things, but all of that's coming across. Those are really cool. I mean, there's some really neat tree pythons and different things that are coming out that you guys have created. And because somebody said, I've already seen that. Let's do something different.
Yeah.
Let's do something new. Let's do something creative. How are we going to do this? How are we going to make this different? And those ideas are so cool to see coming in too. So we are definitely not against new vendors and new breeders and new whatever. We actually think it's pretty cool to see what all everybody comes up with.
Yeah.
It definitely piques my interest when you say new breeders, new ideals, things of that nature. Mainly for the sake of when you, like you said, go to the expos and you see ball pythons, you see corn snakes, you see crested geckos. One thing that I saw that really kind of fell off and fell away was leopard geckos. Leopard geckos used to be a big, very, very popular thing to have around. It's a common.
They all go in like circles, so don't. But there was a while that there was no bearded dragons. Like you did not see. You saw 1,000 leopard geckos and cresties were starting in, and ball pythons, of course, were there. But there were no no bearded dragons. But I agree. There's hardly no leopard geckos right now. Yeah. But I think cresties are kind of starting to die down too. Yeah. Honestly. But I've seen a lot of agamas coming up, and I've seen a lot of different things that like we haven't seen before. And there's some really cool little lizards and things that the micro geckos are super popular. Besides for all of the isopod people.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All those bug people.
Jumping spider.
Yes.
I'm not an arachnid person.
I mean, it's getting all you jumping spider people.
There's a difference between the ones you find in the barn and the ones you buy that are really beautiful and do all these things. So yes, there are bold jumping spiders at the barn. But the ones that you sell are the Regals and the Whites and then the Appalachias and all the different really cool stuff. And there's some really amazing spiders out there besides for just the ones. But again, that's because
like black widows.
Yeah, black widows are really cool actually. Those are really pretty cool. So
yeah, they're beautiful actually.
Black widows, I liken those to the king cobras. You can look at the scale pattern on the top of a king cobra's head, and you know what? That's a king cobra. You can look at those long black spindly legs on a black widow and go, black widow.
Yeah. So I'm not an arachnophobe by any means. I respect them, but it never fails when you walk by that wall, like 4 or 5 table run of just arachnids. It's like
Well, just wait. Platinum Exotics is going to be there.
Yeah.
And 8-paws tarantulas out of Columbus may be coming too.
Gotcha.
I haven't
Gotcha.
locked him in yet, but
Right.
I think he might be coming too.
Very cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know I've interacted with quite a few of local-ish people, going to some of the other expos and stuff that are kind of close by in vicinity. So I've not made it to your guys' Finley show yet. I think
It's on the list, right?
it's on the list. It's definitely on my
So,
list
good
now. It was flying on my list actually before because he said he'd mentioned it. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's not too far away. I was
we've
like, I
been,
bet
we've
we
been
could-
talking about going.
Yeah.
I was like, I could probably make that show. That wouldn't be a bad thing. My kids love going.
I got Matt to come up and I think he's a fan now.
Nice.
Mhm. Yeah, he spoke
Who's
very
Matt?
highly.
Matt Bush with KMB Reptiles.
Right.
He's a good dude. Jacob Folks with Wrapped Up Reptiles out of West Virginia.
Yep.
He's made the trip. He'll be here on June 7th.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
So he's got some
Amazing
banger
multi-budget.
ball pythons.
It's crazy stuff. Yep.
So your guys' target vendor kind of moving forward would be somebody who fit kind of what category? In a sense, is somebody who's like diverse, who's got multiple species, or somebody who's
There's some new vendors that I don't know a lot about that are coming this time.
Okay.
So I would like to see what all they bring, and then I will make pointed adjustments.
I think micro
So I will
geckos are
reach out.
something we've
I
not
will
really-
reach out to somebody that I know that breeds X because we had Y and Z and A, B, C here,
gotcha,
but we didn't have X.
gotcha.
So if I see something that's lacking, leopard geckos, micro geckos, whatever, I'll reach out to people I know and incentivize them to come.
Right.
But
just
that's
to
why we
check it
have
out.
more plants and things too, because everybody's making bioactive tanks.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden,
Oh,
we went, okay, we have the dirt and we have all of these things, but there's really not a lot of plants here.
There's going
There's
to
not,
be
but
probably,
there's
I
a
think,
lot of
4
vendors.
plant vendors that are coming.
Amazing.
One of them is on the 3rd day, which is out of Richmond, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And White's Tropical, I probably messed up their names, but White's Tropical is going to be there. Frog Butts and More, they'll have a bunch of plants and dart frogs, tree frogs, and bioactive stuffs. Cincinnati Aquatics will be there. Eric Eads. He'll have a ton of driftwood and different kinds of woods and fish supplies, axolotls, a little bit of everything with him.
Like the enders and the little shrimps and all of those little cleanup things. He has
Gotcha.
those for the
Yeah.
bottoms of the
Yeah.
tanks, which is really cool.
There might even be some parakeets and maybe a parrot or two there.
Hey, I'm a bird
That's
guy.
awesome.
I'm a bird guy. I love my birds.
This will be
I
the
did-
first expo that I've ever really allowed them in.
Right.
Because at most expos, people have birds and they drive me absolutely insane.
Loud.
They're
Very
too loud
talkative.
in a small venue and it just rackets my brain and it just. But the first question I asked when Ronnie asked me, he goes, "Well, I got these birds," and I had seen him before. I didn't recognize who it was when he messaged me at another expo. And his birds were really well behaved, I would say. It's not like the kid that runs around smashing everything. It's a nice, quiet one that stays and listens. And so I was like, yeah, if you have stuff left over after this weekend and you want to come, I'm all for it. So we're going to branch out and maybe some aviary stuff. And
That's cool.
That is
we
cool.
branched out into aquatics and plants and all that stuff. So why not reach another market?
Absolutely. That is definitely another market that.
You're a bird guy.
Yeah, I'm a bird guy. I like my bird.
Gotcha.
I have a pair of cockatoos. I love my cockatoos. I
I'm a
actually.
bird guy too. I like chicken. I like turkey.
There you go.
Anything with barbecue.
Yeah, we have.
That's right.
I did half of a live stream with my cockatiel sitting on my
Nice.
shoulder, and just
Yeah,
kind of bouncing
so-
back and forth.
And I used to breed cockatiels and parakeets when I was younger with my
Mhm.
mother. We had a couple hundred birds. It was pretty cool learning experience.
Takes a lot of those to get a meal though.
Yeah, that it would.
Cornish
That it
hen.
would.
Sorry.
You're
I did-
fine.
I
You're
did
fine.
breed quails for a while.
Right.
for
Yes.
the eggs,
See, yeah.
so.
And that's not. And that is another thing to talk about feeder wise. You guys said you guys have exclusives for feeders and things like
Mhm.
that. Are we talking like broad spectrum? Are they doing like quail? Are they doing? like
He will have
fish,
rats,
lizards?
mice, live and frozen. maybe some African soft furs.
He usually has rabbits and pigs
I
also.
have
if you
rabbits
need
and
those too, so-
pigs, and he should have. I'll ask him again and double check. I don't think he'll have live quail,
No,
but he should have frozen.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I know that it's for certain species. I honestly, it's for all species. It's good to diversify their diet.
Correct.
Kind of variable things like that for different benefactors and things like that. So it's good to know that your guys' vendor is going to have opportunity for people.
Yeah.
And also be available for questions, to good questions from the feeder aspect of it, because that is something that you don't take into account. You're hoping that your
Mhm.
vendor, your ball python vendor or your lizard vendor, like if somebody say gets a monitor lizard or something like that, they're like, I don't know how to take care of this monitor lizard. Well, that monitor lizard's going to eat a lot of different stuff. So, having that feeder person available, knowing that, hey, okay, I need to go get food. Go over here and I'm going to talk to this person. And hopefully they're able to kind of break down why I would feed this, why I would feed that, those types of things. Honestly seems kind of like the feeder person may have to have a little bit more knowledge than even just that.
He's going to have to know, I got this monitor. He's going to need some dagle quail, and
Yeah.
Well,
as
and
he
you
gets
can
older,
always
he's gotta
call
eat
ahead.
eggs.
We absolutely will put him out there. We'll put the vendor. So if you want to order 50 rats or chickens or whatever you want to
Vendor
do,
pickup.
you can
Yeah,
absolutely
show
call them
pickup,
ahead of time
yeah.
and say, hey, I'm going to be there.
Anybody,
whatever.
not just vendors, but the public, if they want to call Bobby at A Plus Feeders, name's Bobby Oski. You can find him on our page. You can always pre-order and guaranteed to have what you want there.
And he'll just put your name on it. He'll bring the box of whatever you've got, and you just say, hey, I'm here to pick up whatever, and he's got it there ready for you.
I don't believe he requires a prepay, but I don't know 100%.
Probably depends on your order.
Yeah.
truthfully.
Yeah, probably.
If it's 5 or 6 or 50, it's a different
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. But and we don't have a problem with I don't know what I was going to say. I don't remember. Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
Blank.
Listen, we do that.
The feeder bug guy is Glass City Bait and Feeders.
Okay.
They're out of Toledo. You can reach out to him to make sure that he has everything you need to.
As far as
Awesome.
bugs go.
He'll
Yeah.
have waxworms, butterworms, roaches, mealworms, giant mealworms,
Crickets, of
superworms,
course.
crickets.
Right.
The gamut.
Yeah.
Super hornworms.
Cool.
Yeah.
So more onto the vendor side. What are your requirements for the vendor setup?
Not be stupid.
So I think you kind of covered it. I mean, we want to talk to you about the animals you're going to bring, and we want to make sure that they're nice and
I mean,
tame,
as far as their
together.
setup, like their tables.
So we
set
can
up
find a
together.
table. So we have 8-foot tables. Are they 8-foot tables?
They're 8-foot tables.
8-foot tables.
The vendor needs to bring. We will have a center point for electric.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how this is going to set up yet because I haven't done it. When I get there and I get the tables out and play with them, I'll get it set up and the layout ready. But each one will have a center point for electricity that you can plug into.
And each table will have a table. So if you need 2
You have
tables, you
table,
have 2 8-foot
you'll have-
tables.
At least 2 chairs.
Mhm.
We don't really have a limit on how many people you can have behind your table. But if you're going to have 4 people, I need to know.
Mhm.
And you
Because-
can't have 20 for one table either. So
They need to be there before the doors open or they're going to get charged.
right.
Because if they're helping you, they should be there when you get
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If they're running late, you can tell us. I mean, I'm kind of
Everybody should have their own table cover. They should have the supplies they need to send their animals home safely. They need to have the knowledge that it's hot outside. Keep your animal in the shade. Cool your car down before you take your animal out to it. If nothing else, a little cooler can work well to stabilize the temperature, especially in the summertime when it gets so hot. And if they're in a deli cup, the sunlight through the window can cook a snake in 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
You know,
don't stick it in the window. They don't
Yeah,
enjoy it.
no,
I promise they
no.
don't.
And
It's not
I
okay.
promise you, the vendors will not guarantee the animal if you cook it on the way home. That's just not their fault.
And we can tell when they've been cooked. Snakes will bite themselves. The dragons look horrible. We know. Like, you show me that dead animal, and I know that sounds awful. But usually, if it's dead in 20 minutes, you can go, yep, I know what happened to that thing, right?
I left it in the car. I just went into Walmart for 10 minutes.
And you know
Mhm.
that
And that's 8 minutes too long.
If it's in a deli cup, you can always take it with you.
Take it with you.
Take it with
Stick
you.
it in your bag or
I'm
your
big on
purse.
the pocket snake.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Pocket snake, yeah.
Don't put it on the dashboard because that's the worst place. Well, we had the air conditioner on. It still doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, this sun's
That
gonna come
sunlight's
right
coming
through,
down
yeah.
through there.
Your dragon likes UVB, but not directed
Not-
like a prism into the magnifying glass.
But
It's just not
that's
okay.
just it. We just got to be smart. Have a nice setup. Make sure your cages are clean. Your deli cups are clean. They have new bedding, new paper, new whatever. Just make sure everything looks good and people would want to buy from you.
Mhm.
If your stuff looks like crap, nobody's going to buy for you. Then you're going to be mad at me, and I'm going to tell you, well, your stuff looks like shit.
You know, some people appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
We're very blunt. I don't think we get caught that yet. We just we'll tell you how it is. We're not
I
very
mean,
good
I'm
at
not.
pulling back on that.
I'm out to spread the word, to do good, to make everybody happy. But if you're going to be like that, I'm not going to make you happy.
Yeah.
I'm going to protect everybody else, customers included, before I protect one person.
Well,
There's nobody that's my friend that much.
there's that's really refreshing to hear, because there are other shows, like I said before, that they seem to praise passing around bad dead animals.
I am not opposed to pissing you off.
Yep. And if we find this, and this is a recurring problem, we don't have a problem with not giving you a table in the future. So understand that, like, if you come in and you go, well, I just didn't really get the chance to it. That's one. And I don't mean that mean, but we don't hold with that very good. You might have a bad day and we get it, but you can't have 3 bad days and think that you're still going to have a table with us, because that reflects on us also.
100%.
And we're just not going to do that.
We
You have no
will
clue.
also look around at the animals too, and if I see something that doesn't look right, I'm going to ask you to take it off the table. If I find it on that table again, you're going to pack your crap and go home right now. I don't care how many empty tables. I don't care how many tables you got. I don't care how much you spent to be there, to get there. If you don't follow the rules, you're not going to be there.
I like it.
Yeah, cut and dry. Can't get
100%.
any more,
Yeah.
strict with that. Which it's not even strict. You're being smart, for your own sake and for the sake of that show. You know, that community that's going to be around. You want to know, like, you want those people to come through that door to be like, I'm proud to be here. Hey, I'm going to the reptile expo this weekend. Let's go. Everybody. Just
And with
jump
that,
on
you know,
board.
we have great vendors. I mean, whenever you walk in, you're like, they have already been through Julian Richards, whatever.
Yeah.
So we know
Some
those
of
vendors
them
already.
haven't, but they're fixing to.
Firsthand, right? Yeah, they're gonna learn, right? And absolutely, especially the local people to the Richmond area, you know, seeing that you've got a plant person that's coming and things like that. So you're gonna be like, hey, I gotta vet you out. You're gonna come in for setup, and I gotta know,
Yeah.
like 100%. And then that flips to my next question: how does the setup go for that type of, like, say, event? Is it you know, a couple hours previous, or
So-
how does
So
that
what
go?
we do is we open the door for vendors at 7:30.
Okay.
Sometimes with the Wayne County Fairgrounds, they give you a night before to set up, and that'll be great for us. Sometimes it's not available because where we have our date, the night before is perpetually booked with a certain event. So I may not be able to get, and that's where I said I have to rewrite it because it's in my gibberish and only I understand it. So I have to rewrite, you know,
You can come in early on Saturday
the
on this
day of the
date and
show,
this.
and then I've got other stuff written behind it that will make no sense to anybody but me. But once we open the doors to vendors at 7:30, I'll probably be there at 6, making sure everything's set up, ready to go, and all that stuff. All the cords are covered, whatnot.
And we don't let people in early.
Yeah,
Just like,
no,
that's the
absolutely.
thing. We absolutely, I like that 5 seconds to go to the bathroom before we open the doors. And we usually give everybody, we've got a 5-minute warning. All the vendors get ready. We're going to open the doors in 5 minutes. We don't do the $10 early and you can come in and check everything out. I don't want you to see my stuff before I'm set up. What if I still got poop in that tank? What if I've still got whatever?
I go to an
happening?
expo that has a VIP time at 8 a.m. They let the vendors in at 7.
I have 1 hour to get my things set up, and it's fine. And it's
I
great
can't
for
even
the
unload the
customers.
trailer in an hour.
Right, yeah. You can't load the
Yeah.
carts up to get them in the door within.
So
that
we had
time.
that for in the RBC St. Louis.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much like that. But the funniest thing to me was the biggest sell of the night happened VIP before anybody was ever really set up. So
Right. And I get that. And it does happen. But that sale probably would have happened also at 10 o'clock whenever they open the doors.
Yes, because in this instance, it wasn't another breeder or anything. It
So
was-
you've
it
been
was a
to
pepper.
NARBC, so you probably know Clint at Metazotics.
Yes.
Good friend of mine, known him for 20 years.
Yep. I actually
I'm working on you to come to this expo, bud.
actually stopped to talk to him for 15, 20 minutes because I am going to be a newer vendor. I think
And I
we
would
spoke
love to
briefly.
get Brandon Osborne out here too with Osborne Reptiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are two guys that are near and dear to our hearts that we've done a lot of business with. We're good friends with.
They helped us out a lot whenever we started out. Just knowledge, and gosh, Brandon is so smart. I don't know if you guys have ever talked to him, but
Yeah.
and
He's a
Clint
quiet
too,
fella.
but gosh, Brandon.
Yeah, he's
People
on the
feel
quiet
it.
side, but he holds near and dear to like the passion projects I have, especially ball pythons. He likes Darkmoor stuff.
Mhm.
I'm a Darkmoor fanatic,
Mhm.
so I'm sitting here and I'm just watching his brain work. Like we're talking, in Indy actually, I talked to him, and I'm like, this guy gets it. He just understands.
Just give him the right subjects.
Yeah,
And
right,
once
yeah.
you get him started, man,
Yeah.
it's amazing. The knowledge he has is
Don't
crazy.
talk about electric bills with him. though.
No, I probably don't want to talk about it, but there's a lot of good stuff. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
very cool.
I definitely am eager to see.
In fact,
and
I just got
experience.
2 snakes from Clint this week.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Absolutely.
cool.
So you say you guys are, you breed and you guys sell at your store, and are you guys planning on vending yourselves at this expo? How's that gonna go?
Here's the thing that I don't like.
Okay.
I don't like to vend my show.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't want to compete against you, who may have the same thing that I have, but he's paying me to be there.
Yeah.
So it's costing me nothing to vend, but it's costing him.
Right.
So I'm not going to compete against him at my show.
If we can help it.
So
No,
I'm just, if there's a niche that I can feel that's been missing 3 or 4 shows, I'll bring something.
but it's not like we're gonna put ourselves as a permanent vendor there. We're
Right.
just gonna bring something to, like, if somebody doesn't have
If there's no exoteric cages or Zoomed cages, I'll bring some.
we have, we're the exoteric.
If there's
for
no-
60 miles within Dayton, we're on their
If there's
list
no
and all
heat
that,
panels
so-
or thermostats or something, or if there's not a certain type of bedding and it's never there, then
But that's, if you tell me you're bringing it, I'm not bringing it.
Mhm.
I'm not doing it. We just don't do that. We think that's bad.
and I'll put a post in our
Always.
vendor group. We have a private vendor group with all the vendors in there. Hey, is anybody bringing this month?
Because we don't think we have somebody for this. And then if you guys say, nope, then he usually goes, hey, do you mind if I bring it? And if anybody goes, no, I've got them, I'll bring it, then we don't. But we do like to check out and make sure that
The
we've got everything
show
covered.
will have everything you need there from somebody.
And so-
Fair. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. Yeah.
But
I was curious.
I think as a promoter, it's rude to vend against the people that are paying you to be there.
Yeah, and that's
Makes
very
sense.
ethical. That's
Makes
a very
sense, yes.
ethical approach to it.
Yeah.
For sure. I know that in some situations, that's not the case. Some people who they do both, and it almost seems
Well, it makes
kind
it
of,
hard because
Yeah.
honestly, I have a store. I can probably beat you on most of my costs on things because I'm able to buy things differently than you guys are. Right. So that's not fair. That's not okay
Mhm.
for me to bring my stuff if you're, like you said, if you're paying to be here, it's not okay for me to compete against you. So
I could bring 1 billion ball pythons and crested geckos and undersell everybody, but I'm not going to.
I'm not sure that that's exactly true, but
It's like it's
a little bit.
99 million.
yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, we don't want that. We don't want to cause that. We want you guys to do good, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. Is we want to promote the whole reptile community. We want everybody to build it better. I mean, we feel like we kind of died off a little bit, and we're kind of coming back now. And like we said, with new vendors and new
Gotcha.
breeders and new everything, that's huge. I mean, the more people we have out there, the more kids that are seeing reptiles,
Right.
the more people that have kids that have these reptiles. That's how we grow and how we keep going, because there are so many cool things that have fallen apart, fallen to the wayside. We don't even have anymore, right? That we used to have. I don't know. I mean, there's some really
Like
cool.
heat rocks.
I was thinking animals, but
Somebody came at our store the other day and they said, "Do you have any reptile carpets?" I was like, "Nope."
and we won't ever.
I said, "I don't
Not
believe it."
never. Those things are horrible.
Unfortunately, that's a big box.
That is not a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We always tell them, take that out of the kit and just throw it away.
Right.
Just throw it. You can use it to grow moss. Actually, I've seen some really cool stuff where they're taking the carpets and they're putting some really cool dirt in the carpet and growing mosses and things in the carpets because it holds really good dirt and germs,
Right.
and it
Yeah.
makes everything
Yeah.
grow really well. So I think that's a great example of something you can do with the carpet instead of throwing it away. But I sure as heck wouldn't use it in my tanks whatsoever. So
Make for good mushroom growing.
yeah, it would. No, it's super good mats.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It holds dirt really well. So
Right.
absolutely.
That I thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have kind of gave us. It's definitely going to be an amazing time, no doubt about it. I'm looking forward to it big time. I know my kids are at least my son's very eager. He's a reptile fanatic. He loves lizards. All the kids have lizards and everything. So, and they're leopard gecko people.
Would you guys want to come and do your podcast at the show? Would you guys
Yeah,
think about
absolutely.
that? Would that
We
be-
actually kind of
Good.
mentioned that
Yeah.
previous
We
a
would.
little bit was maybe going live,
Yeah.
and posting it across multiple platforms to kind of draw like an outside eye, a little bit, and then maybe interview some vendors. And
Yeah.
some, and
We
some
would love
set-
to have you
and
guys
some of
there. I
that,
think
so-
it would be great.
and get it kind of passed around in the community a little bit more through like the community pages, the Speak Out page and things like that. Some other Facebook groups and stuff.
I'm in a couple Richmond groups.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could tell us some good groups, we would love to join. Also, extra groups would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I'll post the crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I know it's social media is still so very new to a lot of people, and having that active presence on there is difficult, but being from the community, you're able to push it to the community and say, hey, share this.
Yeah.
And then you'll see people just kind of just
Everywhere.
run with
Yeah,
it. And it gets out there. If anybody ever loses a pet, it's found in 20 minutes. It's like, oh my goodness.
So here's another cool thing that we're going to do at our expo too, that we do in our Finley Expo. At 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, we're going to have a drawing for $100 in show bucks for each one. The show bucks are going to be good for that day only. They can
Mhm.
spend it with any vendor they want.
Right.
Okay, awesome.
So
And then we pay back. So we pay for the show backs for the vendors. So they bring them to
Yeah,
us.
that's
and-
awesome.
Yeah. So it doesn't come out of your pocket. It's just from us to help promote you guys and help get our customers like buying stuff. And it also makes everybody hang around till 10 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Because,
so if they're $50 short on that $200 snake,
right. They can go buy
Yeah,
that $200 steak. Yeah,
plenty
absolutely.
to get feeders too.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
Absolutely.
That's a
So
smart.
love
That's
that.
definitely a smart way to do it.
Yep. And then we do free get-ins. So we have a thing with
Oh,
our
yeah.
vendors. And so our vendors do
all of our vendors have the option to give away 2 free passes for every show they've been.
Mhm.
we
I
like them
don't
to do like a
know. I don't know
promotion
how
or
many
whatever.
other promotions do that, but I let our vendors give away 2 passes per show they've been.
But we
How
want
they
them to
give
be
them away, I don't really care as long as the expo gets tagged in it.
Mm-hmm.
They can do a contest, like, comment, share. They can just give it to one of their followers. Doesn't really matter to me. It's getting the eyeballs there that counts.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and I think that would be kind of cool because I know people that are not necessarily right from the area, but they are very close enough to drive.
Yep.
that
If you get
I could-
into
I could
free
give one
tickets,
to-
absolutely.
They would
They would
come
come.
100%, you
And
know?
any of the posts that I put up, if you comment on there and you tag somebody, you're likely to either get free passes or a buy one get one free.
Right. And we've been known to really like your t-shirt, or if you want to wear one of our extra t-shirts to get in free. I mean, there's different things that we do at the
Show
time
me
that
a
we,
picture of you holding a broom.
yeah,
That
we don't crazy stuff. I mean,
That one's
that was
really-
pretty funny,
that-
actually.
I think I had like 60 different people holding brooms in that.
It was that whenever the
Yeah.
brooms were standing straight up, right?
Yeah,
So he was
yeah.
like, "Show me you're holding a broom. I'll give you free tickets." We've
That's
done all
awesome.
kinds of crazy
That's awesome.
stuff. Wear a green shirt. We've done all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
That's
absolutely.
it definitely shows from like the creative standpoint, being that you're the host, so you're able to like kind of put a creative spin on it and say, hey, you help us out, get us out there, we'll be funny,
Yeah,
we'll let you in,
yeah, yeah.
kind of thing. So
Absolutely.
it's amazing to kind of get a feel from the other side of it, because we're emerging into markets of wanting to be a vendor. I'm not quite there yet myself, but hopefully will be one day. To see the back end of it, it's fascinating. I'm very analytical in a sense and want to know, like, hey, how does this work? Hey, how does that work? Like, I'm curious. What about this? And so it's
You have to clear your brain and follow me for a day.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts going on here, but
well, I mean, no, it's fascinating just having this conversation because I'm picking up on like subtle things that how busy it really is. Like, I mean, that aspect of it is so involved. You have to do so much as far as like marketing, as far as acquisition and supplies and communication.
And the crazy thing is, I still have a full-time job at the hospital.
Yeah.
right.
So that's actually why I went to the NARBC St. Louis. Is I went with my partner, and she's from a different state. I mean, we live several hundred miles away, but we do collaborative breeding projects and things together. So I went there with the sole purpose of helping her vend, helping her set up, seeing what it's like on that side of the table.
Mhm. And it is a different world.
It
really
is. It is.
You get asked crazy questions by people doing all kinds of amazing things.
Mhm.
And some things are not, but some things really are. So you get to see all kinds of it. So it's
Yeah,
pretty neat.
and then you get to take a break and walk around the expo and talk to other breeders.
And that's the best part.
And that's one of the things, I was on like a recon mission is what I was doing. I was talking to different vendors. Hey, what is one thing that if you were 20 minutes away from the house already on the way to the show, you would turn around and go get if you forgot it?
Absolutely nothing.
Honestly, if you didn't bring it, you shouldn't have brought it.
Right.
It's that important.
There's a Meijer or a Kroger or Walmart similar along the way. I'll get underwear there.
Bring a tablecloth and bring some kind of lighting, and then we usually have some kind of food there. But if you need water, you should bring it because you don't know if you're going to have water or sodas or
And
whatever you
we also, as the promoter, we bring extra snake bags, even though we don't bring anything. We bring extra snake bags. We bring extra delis. We bring that kind of stuff in case you forget it.
Yeah.
We've got some.
Hand
Or run
sanitizer.
out.
Hand
I mean, it
sanitizer is a big
happens.
deal. I mean,
yeah, oh yeah.
you definitely, if you
If
have
you run
animals-
out, I'll charge you for the snake bag. But if you forgot it, I'll give it to you free.
You've been in that situation.
You run out. You see a lot of stuff today. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. And we always say, and the other part of that is, we have 20 vendors and we have 500 people through the door. Those 20 vendors are going to have a really good day. So we don't have a problem with having that smaller kind of thing. We love to have a lot of vendors, but we're not going to sit there and go, oh my gosh, I've only got, I think we have like 70 at this point.
We're at about 64 tables right now of vendors.
And I'm sure, like he said, he's probably forgotten stuff and there was going to be more coming.
I
in
always
this
forget
little
a couple.
That's okay.
bit. Yeah. So, I mean, that's awesome. So if we have 64 tables of vendors of things going on and there's 500 people through the door, that's awesome. But hopefully they're all buying things and then everybody has a great day. So that's what matters.
I'm hoping for a good day for everybody.
I think it's going to be a great time overall.
It might.
Because
We're gonna have fun either way. I'm with all my reptile family.
you're
It's
right.
awesome.
And it's
right?
not only reptiles, and that's the other thing that we will say is it's not just reptiles. There's equipment there. So if you have a pet, there's equipment available for you. If you're looking for something in particular, like a specific plant, come show up. There's plant vendors there. It's not appealing to just one niche group.
But I do want to say it's also not a petting zoo. And
That's
that's the other part of this that we kind of forget about. It's these vendors, and me. I mean, if you want to talk to just me about my stuff, I'm really picky about my dragons. I'm really picky about my snakes. I want you to hold them a certain way and don't pet the top of their heads. They have a third eye. And I go through all of that with you. What was I going to say?
I have no idea.
Biosecurity.
Really picky. Yeah. So I may not let you hold it. I may not. I
Yeah.
may be like, absolutely, you can hold it, but your kid that's 6 cannot hold my snake.
Right.
Or I see mites all over your freaking skin. I'm not letting you hold my anything. I mean, like, and I don't mean to be mean, but as a vendor, I can make that decision. And I'm really sorry if I upset you doing that, but they are my animals. We have a hognose vendor that he wears gloves when he handles his snakes. And unless you're buying it, you're not getting it out. And he has beautiful snakes.
You can look with your eyeballs, but you're not
Absolutely.
touching.
And he does not get them out unless you pay for them, and then he will get them out and put them in a thing. And then whenever you take them, that's your deal.
Yeah.
But the whole time you're there with him, you don't get to touch his stuff. And that's absolutely his rule. That's the way it is. He's that way with everybody, though. Don't feel like it's a judgment thing against you. It's just what he does.
Well, it's his protocol.
So absolutely.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if you ask to hold a whatever and somebody goes, I'm not really sure about that. because it isn't a petting zoo. It's a business these people
Yeah.
put their heart and souls into, and a lot of money and time.
Yeah.
And we want to respect that also.
That being said, there's a lot of them that will let you hold it.
Yes, we have a lot
It's
of,
not that they're going to say, unless you're buying it, you can't touch it. There's only a few people that are like that, and that's okay. There's a lot of them they're more than willing to help you out.
Yeah, hit that hand
let you
sanitizer
hold
first.
it.
yeah,
Get the
absolutely.
hand
Yep,
sanitizer, wash your hands, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll let you hold it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's like a car, you know, you gotta
test
feel
drive
it
it.
before you can buy it.
I
Except
agree
for
with
me,
that.
when I bought mine, I was like, I'll take that. He's like, I picked the color.
I picked the color. You wanted the white one. But you're right. But yeah, I mean, and I don't want to say that like we're not going to let anybody hold them. I guess that's what it kind of came across as. But I just don't want people to think that I'm going to bring the kids and we're going to hold all the animals at every table. That's not exactly the process here. We're trying to we want to educate you and we want to sell these animals to a good home and we want to set them up right.
That's probably the biggest reason why we don't do free admissions, is because then it turns into a petting zoo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we'd love to have new people there, and if somebody was to come to the door, there may be a chance that you could get in free. You know, we don't want to buy anything, but we want to really
Just look
look
around.
and explore.
Right. But if there's
I mean-
50 people doing that, then that's not going to happen either. So,
I didn't say everybody, there may be a chance, you know,
but it is $5 to get in at the door. Children 12 and under are free.
free.
That's pretty much it. Special circumstances,
If
of
your
course, always.
12-year-old has a mustache,
Yes.
that's
And
not true.
What about
Yeah.
an 11-year-old that has a mustache?
yeah.
I was to say, I was shaving.
He's a very large
If he's
child.
willing to wear the backpack with the little thing on it, then you are welcome to bring him in. But if he's not wearing the little handle on the backpack, I'm thinking that if he's got 12 and he's a mustache.
Right, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So.
I only joke, but yeah.
No, I mean we do absolutely. At the other show, I look at him and the kid goes, "You got a slug 12." I really know. So I mean, I'm not gonna pull out my D, but okay.
Yeah.
Good Lord, bud, your beard's thicker than mine.
Did you shave at 10 or what time did you shave?
So
Yeah, I was
what
that
would you
kid.
say? What would you say your expectation is out of like say the community as like a visitor to this, not from a vendor, but from like the people who are going to be in attendance, like shopping around.
I want them to have the best time they've ever had at a pet store.
I want them to see cool stuff. I want them to walk in and go. I always ask as the kids leave, I'm like, what's the coolest thing you saw? And I really mean that. I want to know what the coolest thing they thought they saw was. You know, sometimes it's an iguana, sometimes it's just a cool snake, sometimes it's whatever. I like that interaction. I like that conversation where the kids are actually paying attention and they're looking at all the animals and they're doing stuff. I think that's important. This isn't just a, I'm bored. What can we do today? This is I want to go see some cool stuff.
A lot of expos that I've been to will have a kids corner
Mhm.
where they got toys and stuff for the kids to do, and that's just more like they want me to babysit their kid while they go shop, and that's really not what we want to do. We want to educate the young people, because if we don't educate the young people, then they're going to lose it. We're going to lose the hobby. We got to get the young people involved in it and educate them, not sit them in the corner with an iPad.
Mm. I feel that.
Oh yeah, big time.
Don't hang your heads, guys. It's okay.
I know.
There's still time.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching the breeding grounds.
There we go.
Maybe you can watch it, yeah.
Let's put 'em on some
This
good
is a
videos.
reptile thing. It's not the same
But
thing.
as far as the community goes, I want them to come to the expo and feel like it was worth the $5 to get in.
Yeah.
That's my ultimate goal. Is
I don't want them to come back next month. I want to be like, this was so cool. I can't wait to come next month. Right. That's cool.
And
Something different.
if we get the support of the community, we can get more vendors with more variety and all that stuff. Because as a new show, it's kind of hard to get vendors because they have their tried and true shows that they
Yeah,
go to.
they already paid.
I'm already making this
they-
money
they
and
got-
they
they
got
promised to
their-
be here. And
They got Sin City where they get 1,000 people through the door, 1,500 people through the door, and it's a great show.
Yep.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's an awesome show. You got the Midwest show in Indy, great show.
Mhm.
Lots of vendors, established. That's my goal. I want to be established, and I want to be the go-to for this area.
Well, I think the good thing about this show is people people already associate you with the one in Finland.
Yeah.
So they know the quality of that show. And I've heard a lot of people say that that's the show to go to. So I think word of mouth travels fast. Your
That
reputation
warms
is gonna
my heart.
help.
Yeah.
So,
Quick and in a hurry in the reptile community, especially across all social media platforms. You hear, a little bit of traction from a couple people, and then it's like, hey, it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
I know before, when my business partner was doing the advertising, we would get about 250, 300 people through the door. On January, when I had my first show, it was just me, we had almost 800.
There you go.
But we had 80 tables of vendors, which usually we only had 50. The next month, we had 95. We had almost 900 people through the door.
right. Well, all those people are sharing to their socials, hey, come see us at yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
You know, this is our vending schedule.
The
So-
way it scales is just phenomenal. And now you've even said that you have more square footage.
I have a lot more square footage. We can get more
location.
vendors. But the thing is, I don't want to overload it. I don't want it to be so big that,
You
the
can't see
6
everything.
hours that we're there, they can't see everything.
Well, you gotta have room to walk around too.
Yeah.
So I don't like the shows that you go into and it's quite literally elbow to elbow, nut to butt.
I say butt to butt. That's what I say. I hate
Yeah,
it.
you
Feel like, let me
I hate
sneak by you
Right.
here. Hang on a second.
Behind. I hate it. I hate
Depends
it.
on what he looks like.
Yeah. So, I mean, we think it's going to be a great show. We hope it's a great show. We hope everybody comes out and sees it and has a good time. And we hope the vendors have a great time too. Because
And we're
there's
here for
nothing
the
worse
long
than
haul.
being.
It's like I told you guys before we started, I have dates all the way through 2027.
Yeah. So, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thank you guys for
Awesome.
coming out
Yeah.
and doing the interview with us today, because I know we've been talking back and forth and everything.
Yeah, it's definitely a different style of content for us. We're not
Yeah.
used to.
I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Anytime we can talk about reptiles, I think is a good day. So that's
Yeah,
what I like
definitely,
to do. That's my
definitely.
good spot. So.
And I look forward to coming to the show, checking it out.
if you guys are ever down in Dayton, come see my store. It's crazy. There's all kinds of crazy stuff, but yeah,
I go through
it's
there all
super
the time.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
come see me.
yeah, we may steal one from Kyle Markham's playbook and come check out the store
Come check out the store. It'd
and
be fun.
put it online.
Yeah, you guys can see my crazy stuff and
Yeah, like I said, we're trying to get a little bit more diverse with some different content. A couple of pre-recorded things. Obviously we both breed ball pythons, so we're not quite to egg cutting videos or anything like that quite yet. So the new channel's not really got a bunch of that stuff. A lot of it's just our live streams. And we'd love to have you guys on a live stream if you guys ever have a Monday free. We run 7 to 9 Eastern.
And you're not required to stay the full 2 hours or anything, but if you guys would like to hang out with us and talk, shoot the shit,
Yeah.
maybe meet some of the people in
Absolutely.
the comment section, just feel free. I'll flip you the link and we'll do it.
Very cool. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people watching before you get?
We're here to make you happy.
Yeah, just come out and enjoy the show. We're gonna have a good time. So it's gonna be fun. So even if you don't buy anything, come out and check it out. Check out what it is.
It's only going to get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one last time, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you guys in case anybody's wanting to?
On
Check it
Facebook, Exotic Reptiles, Plants, and Aquatics Expo. We have a nice Facebook page. Is the easiest way. Email madhouseserpents@gmail.com.
And truthfully, that's a good way for us to follow back your link and check you out too.
Mhm.
So understand it's kind of a both way thing. You can check us out. We can also check out what you're sending us, and I absolutely will stalk you on your thing and see what kind of animals you have and what kind of comments there are and all of that. It does happen for real. We've checked every one of our vendors just to make sure they really are what they're supposed to be. So
Awesome.
absolutely, yeah.
Sounds good.
Perfect. And just to reiterate, show date coming up is
June 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Okay.
at
Wayne County
Grand
Fairgrounds.
County Fairgrounds Coleman Center, guys. It's when you pull into the fairgrounds, anybody who's new to the area, you pull into the main entrance, it's the building on the left. So,
We're gonna have a great time. So yeah,
all right. Well, thank you guys so much.
thanks.
We appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the 7th.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.